Okay, hi everybody, it's Tina here, back to give you some macro wisdom. I'm very happy to do it. So I think today's video everybody's going to appreciate a little more than my other videos because it's packed with an important message, which is it is not too late to set your practice up for MACRA. I will say it again, it's not too late. I don't want anybody panicking and feeling like, well, I didn't already start submitting stuff and I don't know where to begin yet and it's just too late. I'll just start fresh next year. No, don't do that. Don't do that because you're gonna lose money if you do that. Don't do that. It is not too late to set your practice up for MACRA. I said it for a third time. Okay, so let's get into it. It's not too late. You can totally be successful with MACRA at this point in time, which is September 7th. Okay, so we all know about the deadline of October 2nd. You need to start submitting your data to CMS to get it there by March 31st, 2018. No matter what. You got to get it there by March 31st. Okay, so let's go back to pick your pace for a second. Okay. So, excuse me. CMS gave us these beautiful options of option 1, submit something, which is one quality report. I'm sorry. My next video is on reports. One quality measure on one patient or one clinical practice improvement activity or all of your ACI measures, which if you were already successful with meaningful use, which many of you are, there's your avoidance of 4% right there, just for doing stuff from the legacy programs in 2016. Okay, then you have your option 2, submit for 90 days in a row on all performance categories to avoid the penalty and possibly receive an incentive. I know I keep peeking behind this. Okay, so we're coming up on those options, right? By October 2nd. So that's why it's possible to still get an incentive. You can avoid your penalty and still get an incentive. How you can possibly get an incentive depends on the data and how much you submit, and I'll get into that in a minute. Okay, so October 2nd, I know I keep saying that. So yeah, I'll get into it now. If you submit, the more data that you submit, so for example, they're asking for 6 quality measures, right? Submit more than 6 quality measures. That's what I mean by more data. For 90 days, do it for 180 days. That's what I mean. That's what's going to help you. It always goes back to the strategy. That's what's going to help you get the incentive. And yes, is time running out for you to get a bigger incentive? Of course it is. I mean, I'd be lying if I said that that's not true. Of course it is. But it definitely is not too late to avoid the penalty and get an incentive. Again, depending on your strategy. And I will always say that it always goes back to your strategy. And again, your strategy for 2017 may not be your same strategy for 2018. Hopefully you learn from your mistakes. Who knows? Everybody's different. So yeah, the more likely you are to get a positive payment adjustment in 2019. If you're strategic in your measure selection, yes. If you go back to my quality video, I go into the whole science behind, and there is a little bit of a science to it, measure selection. If you ensure you meet all data completeness requirements, that's a big one. And if you are aware of the MIPS quality benchmarks, and you monitor your performance, if you do these 4 things, it is very likely you're going to get an incentive as well as avoiding the penalty in 2017. Okay, for everybody who is exempt, and let's just backtrack. You are exempt from MIPS if you are any of these professionals If it's your first year, forget about the APM person. That's a different story. And if you meet these windows, if you did not meet the threshold, the low volume threshold of 30,000 charges in Medicare and 100 patients in these windows, you're not subject to MIPS 2017. But don't count yourself out. Don't count yourself out. And I'm going to tell you why. If you still participate in 2017 and 2018, so you don't fall behind the 8 ball, you don't want to fall behind the 8 ball, because if you remember, everybody else is busy setting up their practices right now as we speak, and are already up and running and getting like the maximum reimbursement they can get. That is definitely the truth. So while you're busy saying, wow, I'm exempt, I don't meet that low volume threshold in those windows, it's my first time in the program, and I'm one of those other professionals, you don't just sit back and say, ah, ha, ha, I don't have to do anything. If you do that, you're going to lose money, because you can still practice reporting. I think that's the best opportunity for any of those individuals, or if you fall into any of those buckets, you can practice your reporting, make your mistakes, so when it's time for you to jump into the game, you're already ahead of the game. You're not behind. I mean, doesn't this make sense? You still need to follow the steps to set your practice up for success. You do. You still need to. You have this amazing opportunity to take advantage of, because you could still be in the program and you're not going to get penalized. And the reason why I say 2018 is because if you watch my other video, they opened up the low volume threshold to 90,000 charges and 200 patients, as opposed to 2017. That's why I bring that up. But again, to me, it's still a trap. It's like a little bit of a pitfall, because at first I thought CMS was being nice and by opening up this window, but then I really thought about it and I looked back into the law, and I'm like, oh my God, this it's really not. You'll be at a disadvantage. You will definitely fall behind the 8 ball, and I don't want that to happen for anybody. There's my 8 ball. I love my. You just need to you have to have a sound strategy. But everybody's in this, whether you like it or not, whether you're eligible or you're not eligible, you're still going to be in it at some point. And again, your peers are busy setting up their offices now, and they're going to be your competition. So it's like, I mean, it's like, obviously, it's a marathon, right? Someone's already ran 3 laps and then you start. Well, unless you have like lightning shoes, I don't know, unless you're like subhuman, or you get where I'm trying to go with this, you're not going to catch up to that person. And I don't want that for you. So that's my major message. It is not too late to set your practice up for MACRA. It's not too late to participate. Yes, there's the October 2nd deadline. But you need to act now. Your performance matters. You absolutely need to act now. And then you can not act in haste, and you could be calm and really think about how you want to proceed in this new value-based world. You could do it at a slower pace, and you don't have to be so frantic about it and possibly make mistakes. So that's my spiel for today. Thank you for listening. Definitely participate in MACRA, MIPS, APMs. It's not too late. Okay? Thank you so much.